Dave.
We're just sitting here chilling?
It's 11:30. It's well past my Java time, yet I am still having coffee with you.
Hey. Oh, yeah, you're not supposed to have caffeine past like 8 a.m.
Oh, no, yeah, I outdo my caffeine intake by like 9:30 in the morning, and the fact that I'm drinking coffee with you right now means I'm not going to sleep tonight, and my wife's going to hate you.
What?
So besides that, we're great.
You know, I'd like to say hello, everybody, and welcome to Job with Josh, April 2026 edition. We're kicking this old school. For those of you OG listeners to the podcast, we're drinking none other than
Cometeer coffee.
Cometeer coffee. We're bringing it back.
I actually have to say, I think you're crazy with most things in life, and you have been hounding me on. You have weird, like you get into weird things.
Yeah.
And like you got into this niche coffee. You're like, I'm gonna find the dorkiest coffee I can find.
Yeah.
And you're like, I have this company, and they take this coffee extract and they freeze it into these capsules, and all you do is add hot water, and you have perfect coffee. And I'm like, you're bougie, but it's delicious.
Thank you.
It's incredible, actually. So
Appreciate that.
welcome to Java with Josh. We are here in the end of April. It's been quite a whirlwind since our last get together here. And we're going to talk about that here today. But before we do, I want to have some fun because in addition to whirlwind, we both have families. We had spring break in the middle of our last events here. And spring break in my family has been a little different where my wife, Missy, doesn't like to travel via airplane on spring break. She says, like, everyone else is traveling on, like, we take the kids on airplanes all the time, but she likes to drive because everyone else is traveling. Airplane flights over spring break are stupid expensive. And so we like to go on driving trips. And it's awesome. It's been so nice to do this. And this year, we took a trip down to Louisville, Kentucky.
Good old Louisville.
And so last year we went up to Minneapolis. The year before that, I wasn't with them, but they went to Indianapolis, all really close to Chicago. And there had been like 2-3 nights at most. So we like, all right, we're gonna rent a house in the hills of Louisville. And I'm saying it wrong. I know I am. I'm sorry if you're watching this in Louisville. But they were like, 3 nights. Then we kept looking at activities. Like, no, 4 nights. Oh, no, we're gonna need 5 nights. We ended up down there for 6 nights, and it was fan-freaking-tastic. There was so much to do. One of the first days we went to the Churchill Downs, and we have a picture of our family here watching the horses run. It was the very first day that the horses were out training for the Kentucky Derby. We actually saw a Kentucky Derby running horse there. They were starting to come on site. I'm not a horse racing fan. I don't know, like, other than the Kentucky Derby, I don't watch horse racing, but it was fascinating.
That's cool. You raise turtles at home.
I do. I'm a big turtle racer.
Yeah.
But the other thing, so we did all sorts of things. We went to Louisville Slugger. We went to Churchill Downs. We went and saw Mammoth Cave, which is like the world's largest caves is down there. It's awesome. But we also did something unique. My wife found a place where we could go glass blowing.
That's cool.
I've always wanted to do it. I'm fascinated. I can watch those videos online and we do those things. But this is my wife and on the right-hand side and my son, Alex. So this is the guy who owned the glass blowing shop. He was in end of college, got into glass blowing, and he owns this beautiful shop, and he teaches people how, like, it really doesn't really teach people, but he runs these clinics, and we all made ornaments, and you can make, if you wanted to, you could make a pumpkin or all sorts of things. And it was one of the most fascinating couple hours in the morning, and we just had a great time going glass blowing.
That's cool. Could you make a horseman out of it if you wanted to?
Headless.
Headless
horseman.
Well, when we were prepping for the show, Josh sent me the picture to put up here on the screen, and I labeled the picture welding instead of glass blowing. So clearly I know nothing about glass blowing. Maybe I can take his class. And did you bring back any bourbon for me on this trip to Kentucky?
I forgot.
Yeah, that's classic Josh.
I actually didn't bring back any bourbon. Can you believe that?
I can, because you've been cheap on me lately. So.
No, we were in the Bourbon Trail. My wife and I do like some bourbon, but when you're there with your 3 kids, we went to one distillery for a total of 20 minutes, and then we left.
That sounds great.
We had a great time, though.
Hey, did you introduce yourself, by the way, at the beginning of this?
I did not introduce myself. It's called Java with Josh. I happen to be Josh. This happens to be my good friend, Dave. We are Wellment Financial. We're part of Wellment Financial. It's a much larger organization. But Wellment works exclusively with retirees and those about to retire as what we call kind of a niche financial advisory service, where it is working with people as they're going through that retirement phase, which is very different than your working years. We have a tax focused. I'm a CPA with a CPA firm. Taxes and retirement becomes so important. We talk a lot about investments. We have an investment advisory service. We have an insurance agency for different things. So we really help people in that niche of retirement. And the whole purpose of Java with Josh, besides to get to know you and I, which is super important, is to talk about current events and things that are going on, and to have our clients and anyone who might be interested learn more about what's happening in the market out there.
And you can't get more current than this, because we literally waited until this morning to choose, because there's so much happening. There's so much changing. We're like, we got to wait till Tuesday morning to choose a topic, and that's I'm being serious.
Yeah, it was today was a fun one to put together. It kind of like it was like an aha, like, oh, this is what we're doing.
Perfect.
So
cool.
Our compliance officer Brian, who also helps run our IT, is sitting over there, and he's like cringing because we haven't brought this up yet. But
he looks extra handsome, doesn't he?
he does look extra.
He's like
handsome.
he got some good sleep last night.
We wanted to put a camera on him, but he wouldn't let us.
Next time.
Yeah.
In May.
Everything we're about to say today is for informational purposes only. It's not to be considered specific advice for your specific situation, but if you would like specific advice, we're happy to give it to you. You just have to do that live with one of our wonderful advisors. So,
Well said, Josh. I couldn't have said it better myself.
our mission statement, besides drinking coffee. Oh, look, you have a video up there of like coffee pouring into it.
It's actually me pouring coffee.
Is it?
No.
Okay. Retire well, live fully is the purpose here. And
It's nice.
retirement is supposed to be the best part of your life. I know you've been looking forward to retirement since high school.
Yeah.
In fact, if it wasn't for me, you'd still be in high school.
Here we go. Buckle up.
But retirement. We look forward to retirement our whole life, and it is different. It's a different mindset than when we go through all of our working years, and so we love at Wellment to be able to have that special purpose in people's life.
You better be nice to me. In June, for our June show, you do realize who's going to be in town.
Oh, your father?
Cowboy Mike. And he will come harass you and say mean things if you continue to be mean to me.
I say we get a cameo of Cowboy Mike up.
Ooh, we could do that. We could do that.
Tell him to sit there and be quiet,
Yeah.
Mike.
Ooh. Shots fired. Shots fired.
So, upcoming shows there. We also have our Retire Well radio show that airs Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. on WLS AM 890. These are not as current of events, but we talk a lot about retirement topics that are more general in nature, more evergreen. But every week, my co-host Mark Elliott and I kind of dig into a new topic. It's a lot of fun. If you're awake at 7 a.m. on Saturday mornings, tune in your radio to WLS. And if you aren't, they are on our website. You can download them to listen to at your convenience.
And I'm not sure if you know this, Josh, but we just got locked in for 2 more years. So we are doing the Retire Well show through 2028.
Awesome. That's exciting.
Let's go.
We also love to talk about Social Security, and we've got some Social Security workshops coming up in Wheaton, one of our favorite locations, the Wheaton Community Center.
It's called the Ray Morrill.
Oh, the Ray Morrill. You live very close to there,
Yeah.
so you know that. The
Yes.
Ray Morrill Community Center.
Yes.
What are the dates on those, Brian? May 6th and May 7th, I believe. Mm-hmm. So if you are around, you can find that information on our website, wellment.com. Feel free to sign up. We'd love to have you join us for one of the workshops. It's a great dive into all things Social Security, but also retirement, and to hear more about kind of how we think about things at Wellment here.
So a quick announcement before Josh gets into the nitty-gritty. If you have any questions for Josh, you can go ahead and post them in the YouTube chat, and Brian will choose the most appropriate ones. Please be appropriate. If you watch this right now, this is my obligatory request to hit that like button. We get a lot of people finding us on YouTube's search after our show airs. So that really helps us a lot.
So I'm going to stop right here. Like it. Hit the like.
Hit the like.
Awkward silence.
I heard 55,000 likes.
55,000.
All right, let's get in, man. We've been rambling long enough. What are you going to teach me today, Josh?
You know what we're going to go through? We're going to last month we talked a lot about the Iran war and what's happening. And every week I get up. In fact, I'm going to record one here shortly because it's Tuesday right now. I record this, what the heck's just happened? And this is as current as we can get. We talk about last week's real market of activities. And the number of times I have said in the last month, hey, you have to just, if you have a plan, this is the time we stick to the plan. Like, this is the time we don't make knee-jerk reactions. And I feel like a freaking broken record. And so I wanted to dig into that deeper here today as to why I'm saying that, the thought process behind it, and kind of what's going on there with this, because this is constantly evolving, but it's also not at the same time. Make sense?
Makes total sense. I'm on board.
Cool.
Do you want me to just
do you want to give the presentation?
I would, but compliance says I can't.
Yeah, actually, that's much better for all of us.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about things. And Brian, if you want to go to the iPad here really quick, news headlines are. Oh, well, hold on here. I better reconnect the iPad. Sorry, Brian. It's going to come up here in just a second. All right. See what you got now, bud. Oh, there we go.
Nice.
News headlines galore. This was the news headline from the New York Times on Sunday, March 1st. We started attacking Iran. Oil prices, I mean, God forbid we have... My wife and I bought a new car at the end of February. We gave up a plug-in hybrid for a gas guzzler. And
Smart.
It has been really not a wise financial move, but it makes driving around a lot more comfortable.
It's like driving two Lexuses. Who would do that?
Who would do that, Brian?
No idea.
Anyways, keep going here. More headlines. Trump threatens to blow up Iran. Then we go on to, we're going to blockade. This one should have came after this one here. We have peace.
Oh,
we have
that's nice.
a ceasefire going on here. And then we get to this one. And the reason I'm showing these is because the headlines can be confusing. They go back and forth. We have good news. We have bad news. Oil is up. Oil is down. We have a ceasefire. Now we don't have a ceasefire. We're negotiating. We're not negotiating. All of these things drive market performance in the current time. They are driving the short-term performance. And I've shown this next slide here over and over and over again. And Brian, go ahead if you can come over here to the slide real quick. This one is one of those slides that when you see it, logically, it makes a lot of sense. Despite the headlines, it has always been a good time to invest for the long term. And what this is comparing is the S&P 500. If you remember Y2K, the S&P is up 653% since then. We can go all the way down here to, if we look at different things that have happened, Brexit that occurred in 2016, we're up 298% from them. From that point in time. 2020, God forbid, 2020 was crazy. Our market's up 132%. So we know this, that the headlines, long term, the market feels good. The market is one of those things that if we hold on long enough, we're gonna be okay. In fact, we can dig into it deeper here, Brian. This one, I haven't showed this one before, but this talks about market performance after geopolitical conflicts. So we look at different wars. We look at the 1980 Iran-Iraq crisis. We look at the Panama War, the Kosovo, Afghanistan, all of those things, and we look at the biggest drawdowns. So these drawdowns, if I look at them here, I'm going to zoom in on this. The drawdowns are how far the market actually came down in that period. But then we look at after the drawdown, what was it 1 year later? Over here, and then what was it 3 years after that? And so this is one of those time periods, logically, we know it. Logically, we feel it, and it's okay. Now let's talk about what's happened right now. Where I have this line here, this is the S&P 500 or it's specifically the ticker SPY, which mimics the S&P 500, on the first day that we started attacking Iran. And it went straight down for a long time until the end of March. And we hit pretty much our lows. We went down quite a bit. In fact, if you started with $1 million right here when this war started, at this low point, you would have lost over $75,000. I don't care how wealthy you are. If you're losing $75,000 and $1 million, that hurts. And this is where the emotions truly come into play. And those emotions can be difficult. You can go ahead and back to that picture there, Brian. This is a picture of me and my kids in front of the castle at the Magic Kingdom. Sounds weird to bring this up right now. My kids, like most kids, love a theme park. They love going to a theme park. Dave, why do we not go to theme parks all the freaking time?
Oh, because it's pure chaos and it's expensive?
It's expensive as heck.
Yeah.
The cost of admission to a theme park, to take a family to Disney or any theme park, even Great America here, it's a really expensive thing. It's the cost of admission becomes so high, it's prohibitive. One of my favorite quotes, you've heard me talk about Morgan Housel before, the author of The Retirement of Money. One of my favorite quotes he has is, if you want to earn the returns of the stock market, if you want stock market-like returns, you have to pay the cost of admission. And the cost of admission is the fact that you have to deal with this volatility. The volatility is going to be there. It's going to be a part of it. Now, coming back here to this my fun graph, if we look, this was our low. We would have lost over $75,000. Now, coming through till now, till today, we actually last week, after the ceasefire was announced, we came back to market highs. We are at record highs again in the market. And so these are things that, timing goes through us, and we know that the market's going to come back, but it doesn't mean that we don't feel good or we don't feel the hurt. Because this graph, this is a study that was done by ClearBridge. It's a little bit old because this is looking at 20-year returns from 2004 to 2023. And what it's showing here is, this is the U.S. stock market. These are different REITs, which are real estate investments, international equities here. This is the value of homes. This is inflation, government bonds. But this is what the average investor earns. So when we think about the stock market over that time period, 9.7%. The average investor, 3.4%. So why does the investor feel like, why do you get excited for these stock market returns? The problem with Java with Josh later in the morning is I may have had a bag of popcorn.
Or 4.
And the kernel is now currently stuck in the back of my throat.
Oh, no. Oh, wow.
So
we have water if you'd like.
I'm going to hope that my my coffee feels much better here. I apologize for that. That was...
it was delightful.
Yeah,
being right
great.
next to you, like having to see that was great.
Wow, I apologize. But Brian, if we go back to the graph here, why does the average investor earn so much less than the stock market? And there's a couple different reasons. One, you look at the fact that the stock market, this is without any fees on it. If you pay the average fee of 1%, 1% lower makes sense. But the biggest reason is that emotion. They don't want to pay that cost of admission. They don't want to pay that deal with that volatility. The volatility is scary. This is an emotional thing, and we get it. This is not something that everyone wants to put up with. And there's a few things I want to point out here. And this next one here is the S&P 500 returns after we've seen drawdowns. So if we look at it here, when we see a 10% drawdown and looking forward, this is from 1950, by the way. This is a lot of data from 1950 all the way through 2025. If we see a 10% drawdown, 1 year later, on average, it's up 11%. If we look 3 years later, we're up 30%. And if we look 5 years later, we're up over 50%. A 15% drawdown, so a bigger drawdown, our increases are even larger. And the bigger drawdown, the 20%, our increases are even larger. So these big drawdowns, they hurt. Nobody likes them. But as we get through them, you do get through them. And this is the time period where you have to be invested in order to get those returns back. This is where those average investors, they feel that pain, they get out, and they don't see those returns a few years later. Well, people will often tell me, well, why didn't you just get out? Like, why didn't you see this coming? Why didn't you know it's coming? And timing the market is near impossible. You have to see where the top is. Then you have to see where the bottom is to get back in. And then you got to see where the top is again to get money out if you're going to spend it. And so it's near impossible. And what this chart is showing here, this is going back from early 2000s, 2006 to 2025. And if you've been invested in the S&P 500 that entire time, and you had $100,000, you would now have over $550,000 or close to $550,000. If you were to miss just the 10 best days, so you just spent in that time period, so remember, this is a almost 20-year period of time. This is over 7,000 days. If you were to miss just of the 10 best days, you would have earned less than half of what you would have been invested if you were in the full time. Increase that to 20 days, we're down to 144. You miss a month, 1 month out of 20 years, and you now have lost money on this. So this is one of those things that, we used to talk about the fact that it's not timing the market, but it's time in the market that really matters, and you have to let the market do its thing. The other complaint we'll often get is, well, the market's so high right now. Isn't it gonna come down? Doesn't it have to come down? And this is data that goes back again to 1988 here. If we look at investing on any average day, any random day, versus investing at a new high, like last week we hit new highs. People say, well, I don't want to put money in now because we're at a high. Well, if you invest at a new high and we look 1 year later, on average, you're up 14% from that new high. On any other day, you're up 12. So historically, you're up either way, but investing on a high, you earn more. Let's go over 3 years. If you invest in any given day, you're up 41% 3 years later. If you invest on a new high, you're up 46. So this time period, investing on a high isn't necessarily a bad thing. Timing the market becomes really, really difficult to do. And so when we see a situation like we're going through right now with Iran, we are seeing volatility like crazy. Volatility is happening all over the place. This is why I become a broken record. This is why we talk about the Wellment way. This is why we talk about the fact that what's important to you in retirement is income. You need to have that income in order to retire. As my dad always says, like, retirement planning is nothing more than cash flow planning. Money has to come in the door. Your investments have to support that. There's all sorts of different ways to support it, though. It doesn't mean that you have to have it all invested. It doesn't mean that you pull the money out. It means your investments are supporting that income that comes into play. You have to focus on the taxes. How do you minimize taxes? Investment losses can be a time that for a lot of people, you can do some tax minimization strategies. It can be really huge. So what we talk about with everybody is the fact that having this plan is far more important than being able to time the market in and out, which is near impossibility. But when you have a plan that's set up, when you are set up for retirement, which is different than your working years, and this is one of those reasons that we talk about having that specialty as working with retirees becomes so important, because when you see events that are occurring like they are in Iran, you know you're going to be okay as we move through them. You can see those logical slides that say, yeah, we're going to be okay, but it's still, you know that it still hurts. But as long as that money's coming in the door, as long as you have that income coming in the door, you're going to be okay. And that's one of those things that, at Wellment, we truly focus on is trying to understand the mental side of it, of, that emotional roller coaster of it, but also the fact that the fundamentals of the investing, you have to still follow through on those.
Do you remember our segment, Dave Relates to Retirees?
It was one of my favorites. You actually sang a jingle to it.
I did sing the jingle to it. So as you're wrapping this up, you always want to make sure you do a good job of teaching the lesson, and you always refer to me because I absorb things like SpongeBob.
And if I can teach you, anyone, yeah.
Which is a compliment to me, is what you tell me.
It is, yeah. You are a barometer.
Yes, barometer. I'm thinking here, a good analogy is like you and I playing basketball together. I smoke you. Like, you just can't keep up with me. So it hurts a little bit, right? It hurts. But at the end of the day, it's going to be okay. We're going to go out to lunch. I'm going to let you buy me lunch, and it's all going to be okay. It's a lot like having investments.
I don't think that made anyone watching this feel better.
No, I think it did.
I don't think anyone feels better after that.
I think everyone is like, oh, Dave, yeah, thanks for easing my anxiety. You're welcome.
Well, I hope you got something out of this more than my friend Dave did. But this is one of those times that we do want to make sure, A, you have a plan. If you're not comfortable, now is the time to talk about it. We're back at new market highs. If that volatility we just went through, this is not the time to be like, oh, like, I don't want to do anything now. If that made you uncomfortable to the point where you couldn't sleep and you were worried about your retirement, now is the time to talk about it, not when we're back at those lows. Because something like this will happen again. This is not the last time this happens. We don't even know the war is over. As we're recording this, there is still the possibility that tomorrow this whole thing, the market comes out from underneath us again. So we don't know what's going to happen. You need to be okay no matter what happens.
Brian, any comments? Nobody left a comment here? Okay.
I know you said that we had a email from Chuck.
Chuck F., I think you did a great job of actually answering it without me reading it.
You read me the email ahead of time, and I was like, I'm going to guess that what I'm going to talk about today is going to cover most of what Chuck wants to know.
Yeah, essentially, Chuck, just hang on for the ride. Yep.
Just hang on for the ride.
Yeah, that's kind of what he ended his question with, and that's what Josh is saying. Just hang on for the ride. It's a turbulent one.
Chuck sent that email in. He is not a client of ours. I can't speak to his situation at all. But hang on for the ride is not what I want to get through. It is have a plan for the ride. If you're just white-knuckling this thing without a plan, that's not what I'm trying to get through. But it's making sure that you have that plan to go through it. So.
All right. Well, yes, that's why.
Hold on tight. Here we go.
What are we having for lunch today?
I don't know, but I've had late morning coffee, which
you need to feel your body with sushi or something.
Is that what it is? Is that where I'm going with this today?
I'm just suggestion. Oh, my dad got back to me really quick. You want to hear? He's mad at you. He's very mad at you, Josh.
Oh, good gosh. Can we play the wrap-up music here?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I can't really make sense of his mumbo jumbo, so I'm not going to read it on air, but he's very upset with you.
Oh, now he's upset with you too?
Yeah, great. That's a good point. Yeah, hit that close of the show there, Brian. Get the music going.
Everybody out there, if you would help us out and like and subscribe our show, it does help us quite a bit. It'll make sure that Dave has a job for one more month.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Month by month. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Josh.
Cheers.
All right. Go.